Now in this video we'll cover some of the basic networking concepts like what is network and what are the different types of network we have, and then we'll see some of the network devices or the devices which we use to build up a network. So first let us start with network. Network is a group of devices connected to each other in order to share the information and the resources. Like take an example, if you take any small example like maybe a small internet centers or any small office where you have some group of devices, maybe some 8 to 10 devices connected. They all are connected to each other so that we can share the information. Now information means like maybe you have some server here and this server is connected in the LAN or in the network where you have all the files or the web files or some information is stored on the centralized server. And we want to ensure that all the users connected in the LAN should be able to access the files which are present on the server. So that's what we call as information or the resources. Now resources means, let's say you have a printer here and I want to ensure that all the devices in the LAN should be able to access this printer, and where I'm not going to connect a separate printer for each and every device, where I'm connecting that in the LAN and we can share the resources as well. Now resources means we can share the printer or we can share the space of the hard disk of any one of the computer where we are storing all the files, or it can be any other resources. So the main reason for building up a network is where we can share the information and the resources. So we got a different types of networks again. Now we got majorly different types of networks, like we got a LAN, local area network, we call WAN, wide area network, or we call it as a metropolitan area network, or PAN, personal area network. We'll try to understand what are the different network types. So first let us start up with LAN, local area network. Now local area network is a network which is built where you are connecting your devices within the same geographical location, maybe within the same office, or maybe you got a building, very big network, and you got a building and you have some multiple floors and you have some computers in the LAN and we are connecting each other probably, and we generally call it as a local area network, LAN. Now typically a set of devices within the same geographical location can be referred as local area network. Now next we got some wide area network here. Now wide area network is something like, let's say you got a branch office in one of the city. Let's say we got a one branch office in Hyderabad. I got another city, probably a different city here in Bangalore, and I want to connect these two different LANs, LAN and LAN. We got some devices here and we are going to provide the connectivity between these two different LANs. We call it as a WAN. So wide area network where we are connecting two or more different LANs over a different geographical locations. So mostly they might be in different cities or in different countries. Now we got something called MAN as well, metropolitan area network we call it as. Now this metropolitan area network is something where we are connecting one LAN. Let's say I got one LAN in my city and there is one more LAN within the same city limits, and we are connecting these two different LANs via some kind of fiber cable, long distance cable, and the distance between these two different LANs is hardly within the city limits, and we are using some kind of connection from here to here. We call it as a metropolitan area network. Now we got a LAN within the same building or the same office, metropolitan area network within the city limits if you are connecting two or more different LANs, and we got some WAN, wide area network, where we are connecting between two different cities or different countries. Now we got one more network called internet. Like internet is a set of networks or group of LAN and the WAN. Like take an example. I can take an example of a small office. Let's say this is my small office and I have some computers in the LAN and I'm accessing internet. Now I'm also connecting to internet. Now we know how exactly what is internet. Internet is a network where everyone is connected. Now if you want to connect to internet, what we are going to do is we are going to contact our local service provider. Now service provider is going to provide a line. Probably he'll place one device called router. We'll talk about these devices more in detail in our next videos. Now we are going to connect it, and the service pod is going to provide you the connection. But now the question is, internet is a network where everyone is connected. Like we have different service providers in different locations, and every service pod is having their own customers, probably customers. They all connect to the service provider, and this service provider will connect to each other. And there is a Yahoo server somewhere on a different service provider or a different country, and by sitting in my office I can access that Yahoo server. So that's how we access internet. So your packet reaches the service provider. Service provider is already connecting to many other networks, and we are able to access internet. We'll talk about this WAN, how the WAN is built more in detail as we go ahead with our CCNA topics. So probably here, internet is a network where everyone is connected. So that's what we call as a group of networks, a group of LAN and the WAN. So we are connecting our network, and everyone is connecting to some centralized everywhere through service providers, and that is what we call as internet, the biggest network in the world. Now we got some different network sizes here. Now we got a very small home networks where we just have a computer here, and maybe I have a laptop probably, and I have some mobile phone which is connected, and I'm going to build a small network connecting all these devices. We call this as a small home networks, generally a small home scenarios. Or you can also have a network, small office, home office networks, where I got a very small office. Maybe I got some 10 desktop computers, and I got some couple of laptops connected to here, and then I got one printer, and I got one server, a very small size network. Now the next thing, there is one more kind of network, we can say a medium to large networks. Now in case of medium to large networks, where I got some 100 to 200 employees working in my company, I got a building, and in that there are multiple floors, and we are connecting all these 100 to 200 employees in one LAN, and generally we call it as a medium to large networks. And probably we can have some very big networks, like I have a branch office in India here, and I got another branch office in Dubai, probably I got a one branch office in US probably, and I'm connecting all these different locations. We call this as a worldwide networks, where I have all the branches connected to each other, and we are going to build a network. Now these are all the different network sizes, and to build these networks we need some devices, right? So majorly we have three types of networks. Let me just quickly summarize. A network is an interconnection of your devices, and the main reason to do that is to share the information and the resources. And we got different types of networks, like LAN, local area network, connecting the computers within the same geographical location, same building. And we got a wide area network connecting two or more different cities or different countries, where I got a branch office in different locations. And the internet is the biggest network, where we connect, where normally every service provider, everyone is connected to one big network, and we call it as the internet.